In the studio with me is Cosmo Call and Mike Coppolino.
Hello, I'm Mike Coppolino.
And Dave. Yep, Dave.
Greetings and salutations.
All right. So you guys do know something about comedy.
I know something about comedy. I don't know if you know anything about comedy.
I lived near a comedian.
All right.
So, and our houses were very close. So I picked up a few things.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
All right, Dave, you were a little low, so you may want to bear down on the mic a little bit.
Bear down on the mic.
Ooh,
That's too
you're
much.
good.
That was too much.
No, it wasn't.
I'm sorry. Usually I like to operate with the mic in my mouth completely, but I don't. These aren't the same
That's usually the
mics
case.
that I'm used to.
That is what
So-
I'm used to, right under the chin.
Yes, right under the. Thank you.
Okay, like Lux Interior.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Exactly.
All right. So anyway, well, Mike, you're the funny man.
I've been a comic for a while. I don't know if I'm the funny man, but
Okay.
yeah. What is?
I've
been a comic.
I've seen you, and
I've performed. I've actually performed on stage in front of people and made them laugh. So that's kind of it.
I can attest that actually happened.
I've seen it too. I can attest as well.
Yeah.
For the listening audience.
That's what defines it, pretty much. If you can make them laugh, that's it.
So there are different levels of comedy in San Diego, though.
Is there?
Is there? That's my question.
There is different levels in San Diego, but the middle level is like really, really big.
And you're in the middle.
I'm definitely in the middle level.
Okay.
I'm in the middle level. I'm lost in the middle level of San Diego comedy.
Where does some of this stuff take place?
Open mics around town. Not really shows. Sometimes bar shows. Like, because that's the only people that can tolerate it. They don't even know it's happening. And then we do comedy there. It's like we just gang up on a bar until they let us in and do comedy.
That sounds kind of exciting, actually.
It's like a gang of clowns or something. But, but it's me first. I go in there and, persuade them to do comedy. And then they say, okay, you can do comedy here. And then we do comedy, just invade them, periodically.
So is it just people jumping up and telling jokes, or are these recognized comedians that have performed?
We have plenty of people that jump up and tell jokes. Like anybody at the bar can come up and tell a joke, especially at the bars I do, because they're all regulars and we all know them pretty much.
Right. Where does?
But usually I throw in ringers. I throw in a few ringers.
Okay.
Just to make it like something.
All right.
Now, for the benefit of the audience, what is a ringer?
A ringer would be a comic that I invite to an open mic. I usually bring about 3 or 4 ringers to come in there and show their stuff, like do a real set, like a set that they're prepared for and everything, and just that they do all the time. And they get to see that, and it lingers. If they're really good, usually a guy one comic that's good can make 3 or 4 comics good, even if they're not so good, because people will listen to them. And
Right.
That's the thing. So if you bring 1 or 2 of those guys in there, they'll listen to the whole show, and maybe even want an encore because they'll think everyone's so great. It blurs the line to do that.
That sounds kind of like fun to me.
It is. It's great. I mean, it makes everybody feel good.
Now, it's not deception, mind you. It's just enhancing.
It is
experience.
enhancing. It's totally enhancing. It's not a deception, because everyone wants to be better when you have 1 or 2 of those guys in there. That's what changes it.
Well, I'm wondering if people, when they're sitting in their house and thinking about something to do, and are we going to go out tonight, see some Torn Blue Jeans hipster band, or I don't know if I want to do that. What else can we do?
Yeah.
How many people think of comedy?
It's true, but all those people want to talk among themselves. Like, they don't want to listen to anybody. They want to hear themselves. So that's why they go to bars where there's music, so they can talk loudly in front of it.
How many comedy clubs are there in San Diego?
4 comedy clubs.
Okay, is that a
Maybe
lot?
5.
Is that a lot, or it doesn't seem like a
That
lot?
doesn't sound like a lot, does
That's
it?
not
Right.
a lot. I mean, this is a pretty major area. It's like 8th largest city or something or whatever. There's 1 million people living here.
Like,
Right?
For example, in
Yeah.
Los Angeles,
Yeah.
there's
There's
I think more than 4, right? Or,
yes and no. Yes, there are.
Right.
But the major ones, there's major ones. And there's major ones, and then there's like people that are just like starting up. But LA's full of that. Like there's full of little clubs. It's the same. It's just better clubs than here, I guess.
Could you name some clubs?
Can I name some clubs? Comedy Palace, the Comedy Store, the Madhouse, and
Isn't there a great American?
ACC.
Yeah.
ACC is great, and that's like the best one right now.
Okay.
But it's like the best because they don't hire anybody. They just like get regular people, like the name people, and they don't really open it up for much else. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, they just get reliable people and they get reliable packages.
So where are you doing stuff?
I have a pub on El Cajon Boulevard where I do comedy, usually like 3 times a month. And I have an audition room in Barrio Logan where I audition people for the show. So I usually do that, have like 10-minute sets for people, like people that know what they're doing or think they know what they're doing. They come in there, almost no audience, just like a few like people listening. Some of those people might actually know things,
Right.
but I'm not going to say it. You just go there and you do your best, like your best work, your funniest stuff. I'll laugh at it, I'll laugh at all the punchlines and everything, and I'll know it. I'll know when it's funny and when to listen and all that stuff. But everybody in there's like 4 or 5 people in there, and they're a real audience, usually, because we get people off the street and say it's an audition, you can come and look. And then we do the audition, and it's usually very good. But we only had 3 comics and myself, because I also auditioned for the other comics. So I'm the host. So I have to say, all right, just because I have this room doesn't mean I'm asking them for money too. Like they go in there and give me $5 to perform. That's part of the deal because it goes to the rent. I don't own the place.
Right.
They have a soundboard and everything. So
why don't you own the place?
Why don't I own the place? Because I don't have money. That's why.
Okay.
What? Jesus, you're
No, I
killing
was just
me.
wondering.
So you're not getting rich.
Oh no, hell
No.
no. No.
No?
No.
Well, it seems like comedy has an ebb and flow historically. I mean, I remember, what was the 80s? There were a lot more comedy clubs.
Yes, there were.
And then that kind of fell by the wayside and not so much. And it's, I don't know, is it kind of coming back, or do you think? What?
Well, it's coming back, but I think what's happening is everyone has access online to comedy. So
Right.
they don't really see it in the clubs, but the clubs are developing it because they want to get on Netflix. Everybody wants to get on Netflix. It's so accessible, and everyone listens to it on Netflix. They'll listen to every special. Yeah, it's like, that's great. I mean, anybody can do Netflix.
But
at
a
this
live
point.
audience, I mean, there's no substitute for that.
Well, they do it in front of a live audience. But
Oh, then
Yeah.
they film it in a live.
Right.
Yeah.
the people that are developing, I mean,
But that's real. That's a harder comedy.
I don't know if there's if they get a real audience. Like I've been to all the clubs, the little open mic stuff and everything, where good comics show up, and they don't have an audience. Like they have an audience of comics, pretty much, and nobody knows those things exist. And I think the reason is they want the clubs to actually make money, to do stuff. But I don't know. I don't know if the clubs are making money.
Yeah.
I think there's. I don't think they are.
I think it's like airline pilots.
Yeah.
They have a passion for it, so it's okay that they're not making a ton of money as long as they can keep the lights on. And
It's true. It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
I thought airline pilots made pretty good money.
I think eventually they do, but out of the gate,
No.
not so much. Like for the first I don't know 10 years or so that you're flying,
it's true.
you're kind of
You're
not doing so well.
Well, you're sitting in the seat. You're making money. You're making like 50, 60 grand if you're like the test guy. At least you could fly the
Look,
plane.
I don't know if it's still true, but I heard when our airline pilots start out, they tell them not to wear their uniform when they go file for public assistance. That's what I heard.
Oh,
I'm talking
really?
about the very first time you get into a cockpit, and for the first few.
That doesn't seem reliable.
It doesn't seem reliable, but they know the people that are willing to do that for no money are people that love to do it.
Right.
So, and that's who you really want in a cockpit anyway.
Well, I
Right.
get that.
So-
I mean,
Well,
take radio, for instance. A lot of
Right.
people think these people that they're listening to on their favorite DJs on the radio are making a wad, and they're not.
well,
Most of them.
well, but those pilots, usually those guys are ex-military.
Some
It's
of them,
a lot of them are.
But there's a lot of flight school. There's people coming out. I mean, I'm
Okay.
talking about the kid who's 22 years old. Instead of graduating with his
It's pretty interesting.
undergrad, he went in and went into flight school and is coming out, and it's his first deal. It's tough. It's tough, and it goes on for a few years. Now, of course, you can make good money later, but
That would scare the crap out of me.
I would like to go back to the time before I knew that.
I always want.
Sure.
I honestly, if there was no war, but there was still a military, and it was just to train pilots, I'd be all for that.
I'd like to get rid of the war and the military.
Yes.
Put that right at the top of the
Well,
list.
yeah. It could be another.
Now we're
like-
talking.
Yeah.
And maybe planes too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, yeah.
I mean, with no military concerns, we could take time to take trains places. We wouldn't be in such a hurry. You know what I mean? Slow it down is what I'm saying.
Well, I kind of like that idea. In fact, that's kind of an Italian. Slow food is an Italian thing.
Very
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm very into that, actually. I like slowness.
It take time.
Yeah.
The experience is the journey, right? That's the deal. Is the journey, not the right.
Of course,
No.
trains
You wanna-
and the Pacific Ocean.
It's not a foolproof plan. I'll admit that.
You want a
There are
journey.
some issues.
You want a journey
with the
in
ocean.
comfort. You want a journey in comfort.
Absolutely.
You can't have a journey on the Greyhound bus.
And maybe with Journey playing also. at the same
Well,
time.
that would happen.
Possibly.
I mean,
No.
Absolutely.
there are
No.
gas stations everywhere.
Win in Rome.
Yeah, exactly.
Where, in which Rome is Journey playing? I
Rome,
think
Texas.
I'm gonna. Okay, we'll avoid.
Right.
Nah, don't stop believing. That's what I always say.
My goodness.
Folks, you're listening to STS, and we're talking about. We were talking about comedy.
We still are.
We still are. We still
we
are.
still are.
And we're
But,
going to talk
yeah.
about the future of comedy.
Future.
The future of the future.
Yeah.
The future of comedy. Yeah.
Well, that is interesting. It's got to be all internet, pretty much.
Well, I think you fast forward to a point where everyone has their own Netflix special.
Right. We were there.
We're almost there.
Well, people are still trying to use the internet to promote, and I think that might not be a good idea anymore as far as comedy goes.
It's
I
going
think
the way of
that's-
email.
I think
marketing,
people.
yeah.
I think at some point, what people are doing is because I have like a presence on the internet,
Right.
And I advertise it every once in a while. I have an internet presence. You can go to my YouTube channel and see 34 or hear 34 performances if you want to, but nobody listens to it. It's just there, and the reason is
So they could just plug in
Yeah.
Mike Coppolino,
yeah,
and they'd get there, and you could listen to
you could listen to it.
Get Arrested.
Get arrested with Mike Coppolino, get arrested with this commercial, and Tariq Stole My Lighter, and a bunch of other tracks. But you can't respect it because I did it all on the street. So I recorded everything live on the streets of San Diego rather than in a comedy club in front of an audience.
That sounds kind of awesome to me.
Guerrilla comedy.
Right, like
Yeah.
right out on the street,
Right.
talking to people on the street.
Oh, it should be. Nobody pays really any attention to it. That's like the weird sort of comedy of it. It's like I'm doing all these jokes, and people are just asking me for lighters and stuff. Like they don't even know. Like they just want to smoke a cigarette, or
So this is-
they don't know.
This is guerrilla comedy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
pretty much.
You're on the front line.
Oh, I've done a few encores. Done a few encores on the street because people wander up wondering. They finally start listening after like 25 minutes, and they go, "Like, what are you doing? I'm already done with my whole show. All right, I have to do more, and I have to do like another one."
That's like an encore for an audience that
I
wasn't
do.
there.
I've done like
That is a real encore.
yeah. I have like a 15-minute encore on one of them.
So could you tell us a joke right now? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
I could tell you a joke right now.
Okay.
All right. I think the worst thing about gender-neutral bathrooms, is that everyone gets to smell it.
Oh, God in heaven. Wow. It's true.
It's true.
There's a
It's
point.
very
It's true.
true. Everyone does get to smell it.
There is a point.
Yeah. And they're probably full of smell because everybody.
Public restrooms are not the best thing that we have.
Right.
I think. I mean,
But
if you made a list of things that are good,
yeah,
I don't think it would be on there, or it would be far down the list.
Right. I was astounded by it. Like when they first came out, I was astounded by it because I was at the airport and I saw that they had an all-gender restroom. It wasn't a gender-neutral restroom or whatever. It said all-gender restroom, and underneath the sign that said all-gender restroom, it said all genders and all races are welcome.
Whoa.
And I was just like, anybody can use that one. I'm all genders.
about
I'm all
religions?
races. Yeah, I can use it. Anybody can use it.
But it wasn't in Braille.
How?
No, it's totally in Braille.
Okay, it was in Braille.
Was in
also.
Braille.
But people are pissed off when I get out of there for using the restroom because I don't look like a
Gender.
or anything. It's like they're pissed off. Yeah.
They're not sure what you are.
Right.
There's kind of there's a thing there.
And as you mentioned, there's a smell issue.
There is a smell issue. I mean, I'm in there. If I'm in there, there's a smell issue. Like I'm actually part of a protest against corporate greed. I am. Actually.
Hear, hear.
And this is the thing we've been doing. We've been going to Starbucks and crapping in the restrooms, and that's why they smell like that. That's all we've been doing.
Well, that ought to
as a
fix it.
protest.
Are you buying something there?
Of course.
Well, you have to, right?
I'm buying the coffee, but I eat eggs and stuff before I get in there. I do.
Because they probably wouldn't let you otherwise.
It's a real thing.
I see.
It's a real thing people
This is
are doing.
not a joke here. This is like.
Oh no, that's the real deal. I mean, you go in there after a Love's Rib dinner or something.
I mean, really, you don't usually go right to bioterrorism in terms of a protest. I think
that's why
maybe you've skipped steps there. Perhaps
this is why you're drinking the coffee in the first place. The business model of Starbucks is to be a public restroom.
Look, the coffee's not stopping you from going to the bathroom.
The coffee is helping you go to the
helping
bathroom.
you.
That's why you're there. It's a public restroom.
The whole thing's built around the restroom.
It is.
Coffee's not just a diuretic.
It's the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
Of the diuretic pyramid.
The coffee accelerates it. I mean,
Maslow's hierarchy of bathroom.
But you have to go there because if you're out and about, you're not going to go in somebody's house and
schedule your life better and use the bathroom at your house. That's what I'm saying.
You can't do that if you have to go make money elsewhere. And you can't just...
eat some cheese at lunch like the rest of us. You wait till you get home.
You don't crap...
I mean, can we take a vote here?
You don't crap in the client's house. You don't do it.
I try not to.
You earn their trust. I mean, that could be the whole goal of my business model, is to crap in somebody's house.
You're listening to SDS. You're listening to Mike Coppolino and, Dave. And you're listening to SDS. I'm going to prove it right now, just for a second.
SDS.
Hi, this is Aaron Salinas. I'm a student here at San Diego City College, and I'm part of SDS, KSDS HD2 San Diego, Student Delivered Sound.
SDS.
So you guys couldn't hear that commercial, could you?
No.
No, because I've got the only headphones.
I see.
Yes.
So these guys are going blind, as it were.
Yes, pretty much. We don't know what we're saying or doing or sounding like.
At this point?
Absolutely not.
Not really, no.
All right. But it's fine, though. That's fine.
Oh, good. All right. You're making me self-conscious.
But anyway, Back to the Future.
I'd like to get
It's a protest.
I don't think we should say the name of the place that you're doing it at anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, but...
It is a commercial.
But...
Technically.
It's not really commercial.
Not really a commercial.
Yeah.
Not really a commercial.
I don't know. But whatever place that was, this could work at any place, I would assume.
Right.
You're talking about creating a movement of sorts.
Well, but the other thing is, I don't really do that.
Of course not.
Yeah, I
because
don't.
that's a joke. Because why would anyone do that?
That's totally a joke.
But if one was going to do that,
if one was going to do that, like if one was going to release boxes of crickets at Walmart in the hardware section and just let them loose.
Okay, so Walmart's still a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. But is Walmart even a thing
It's
anymore?
a thing still, right?
It's too big.
Can we get a vote on that?
It's too
Way
big to
too
be
big.
a thing.
Okay.
It's actually it's a word. Walmart is a word now. It's not a thing.
Here's the thing. If you can't sell me a chair that won't fall apart, I don't want to buy your milk. That's my thing. You understand what I'm saying? If you can't...
And if slaves in Samoa, 13-year-old slaves in Samoa had to make that chair.
Allegedly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. We're not accusing anyone of anything.
I don't know.
We're just speaking hypothetically here.
Maybe. I think the robots are cheaper now.
The bottom line is
robots are
13-year-old
cheaper.
kids are not strong enough to snap things together. I defy you to...
They have smaller hands. It's like getting a dentist.
I'm
That's
not talking
young,
about
you know?
screwing some small thing into a small place. Obviously, you want small hands for that,
Right.
and I can see that. But I'm talking about snapping two pieces of something together.
Well,
you need an
Allen wrench.
kid's got to be at least 19, I would think.
No, they
for that
design
kind
it.
of
They
deal.
design it for the weaker hands.
When I was 13 years
That's why
old,
they
I was
break so well.
worthless.
That's why they break. They design
That's
it
what
for
I'm
smaller
saying.
hands.
I'm not talking about screwing small things into things.
I know, but the
okay? I'm
smaller
talking-
hands don't have the strength to assemble it.
That's what I'm saying. They can't snap the widget part where it goes into the deal.
Right, that's what
And
you're
then my
saying.
file cabinet's shoddy later.
I understand that.
You know, and I
I
paid
get that.
$19 for it.
I get that. It's weaker hands.
That's what I'm
Rather
saying.
than 39.
I'm just saying, stop using kids to build stuff altogether.
I
How
agree
about
with that. I agree with that statement.
Globally, I'm saying.
Well, I mean, like for science projects, they can do it.
Enough. Okay, you got a specialty job. You need a little thing screwed into a thing. I don't know. Maybe you get a kid to do that. But other than that, I'm saying use adults for things
And robots.
or robots.
Or robots.
So,
Robots.
okay, now, but everybody's worried about the robots taking their job away.
That's true. I mean,
Then they are.
And
course
they
they
are,
yeah.
which really spread the leisure, though, right?
Well, ideally, right?
Universal basic income?
well, that's
They're
what
they're trying it in Canada, in certain province.
I'm willing to give it a try if someone
Yeah.
wants to give me money.
It's
I will-
what they want. It's what the kids want. Universal income. But yeah,
Look, enough of this one guy hoarding all the clamshells. You know what I mean? Let's
Right.
divvy it up a little bit.
but it's going to happen anyways because of robots.
then-
That's the reason they're doing it in the first
Do we
place.
reach a point where one robot has all the money? I mean, what? You know what I mean?
well,
the guy-
Will the robots subjugate each other?
So what's the name of that corporation? Skynet.
Skynet.
Skynet in Terminator. That's the idea there.
Yeah. Well, the robots have to be able to fix themselves. That's the main
That
thing.
is coming up.
Right. That is.
That's
That
in like
right?
2024. Or
That's
something.
already
Yeah, we're almost
nearby.
We're close.
yes.
We're close.
I know.
Yeah.
But they could already be on an assembly line. You don't have to have.
The
You can
Skynet family of products.
You can put a robot on an assembly line and make it work.
Now, did you see that movie Virus?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what was
I actually
going on
read
there.
the book.
Oh, really? How was
Yeah.
that?
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
was just as bad as the movie, probably.
All right.
It was an adaptation of the movie. It was bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
so movie to book.
Yeah, movie to book.
Oh,
Yeah, the movie was first, and then they made a book around it.
does that ever work?
Huh.
I mean, it was like Donald Sutherland's character, only like he was a little like worse. Donald Sutherland was a terrible person in Virus. Terrible
Allegedly.
actor. And a terrible actor. I mean, he was Donald Sutherland, but he was like, oh my god.
But I mean, okay, you bring up a good question though.
He was
Are we
so
afraid at all of the robots taking over? Is that a fear you have in your mind?
Yes. Well, I'm afraid of going broke and starving to death. That's the only thing I mean, I'm not
Okay,
afraid
but
of.
that you can do that without robots.
Yeah, but the robots assist. me.
Totally.
I see.
Yeah, and I'm sure the robots will.
Totally, you're afraid,
No.
or you think about it.
Totally, the robots.
Absolutely.
You can go
Yeah.
broke without robots. No. If robots free us as a society from some of the labor,
Mm.
that should be spread out amongst all of us.
Well, now you sound like Buckminster Fuller.
I wish I could sound more like Buckminster Fuller.
We
Right?
need to get rid of the specious notion that everyone needs to have a job.
Exactly. Precisely.
You know. I mean, when they invented the factories to make the automobiles, that was supposed to be the first step, right?
Well, and that was the focus of socialism at the turn of the last century. Workers of the world unite. They called them workers, industrial workers of the world unite. But what about people who aren't workers?
You have to manufacture a job, because otherwise people are going to get too bored.
You have to come up with a job.
Yeah, otherwise it's going to be too boring for people, and people will eat themselves.
No, otherwise you'll starve to death.
Well, they'll eat themselves because they want something to do.
Well, how about leisure activities?
I'm not eating anyone.
No. Yeah, sure, leisure activities, but who's going to create them? Like creative leisure activities.
You can do whatever you want. It's leisure. That's the point.
Everyone's going to be doing it.
And that's great. We should all be wearing bed sheets and hanging out underneath, like sarong, like the Greek. What am I saying? Togas?
Yeah. I think we're there now.
What am I saying? Yoga or toga? Which one is it? The thing that they wear.
You can. That's toga.
Togas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, I think
you're thinking of the stretch pants.
I'm saying we should be like a Greek society where we're hanging out under trees, being very overweight, thinking about philosophy, and maybe even soiling ourselves and not caring, and robots running around doing everything.
Grapes need to be involved.
Grapes, robots handing me grapes, feed me grapes. What's the problem here?
I guess yeah.
No, I gotta go get a job scraping barnacles off of a ship.
I would think everyone would have to have that.
If they'll call me back.
Well, I don't know. Robots in the hospitals?
I don't care, but robots everywhere. I'm tired of working.
Robot hospital. That'd be compassionate.
I would rather have a robot operating on me than some doctor who may not even be a robot.
What about dental assistant?
Dental assistant.
Those should be humans.
Well, if a robot can do brain surgery, they ought to be able to clean teeth.
Wouldn't you rather have a robot giving you brain surgery than a human? Honestly. Oh, please tell me you know the answer to this question.
I'm seeing your point.
Thank you.
Human fallibility.
I don't want humans touching anything.
When was the doctor's last martini? Well,
Yeah.
I think
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, he could be totally doped up. You have no idea.
Yeah. I think no matter what, when you're doing brain surgery, you're taking a risk. No matter what.
Okay.
No matter what. I think.
Granted, yes.
I think humans take better risks than a robot.
No, humans take risks. That's the problem.
That's why the brain surgeons stuff, because they take educated risks, because the brains are different.
No, I totally disagree. I'd rather have look. Okay, how about this? You're in an airplane. It's about to land. Would you rather have a human being doing that? A human?
Yeah, I'd rather have a human do it
than the computer handling everything.
Absolutely, a human.
You're out of your mind.
Absolutely.
Can we take a vote?
Are these drones crashing? Or are they
humans adapt to like weird situations? Self-driving things don't.
Okay, a self-driving car killed somebody in Phoenix. When was that? 3 weeks ago?
Right.
Today, 463 people were killed in cars, humans driving them.
Yeah, but there was more humans driving cars than self-driving cars.
Look, I'll take a shot at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to go get in the water in Hawaii, and I'm not, come on.
Yeah, right. I just think, well, what's going to have to happen is there has to be more self-driving cars on the road than there are human driving cars.
I don't want humans driving things at all.
I know.
They're not good at it.
But you have to have them.
True, it's
there
true.
Has to be like
the stats back it up. People are lousy at stuff. They're just not good at alcohol and stuff.
Yeah. It used to be car accidents were a Vietnam every year. 50,000. It's less now. I think but I think it's going back up.
No, if we have self-driving cars on the road, more people will die because they'll react differently than humans. If we have 30% self-driving cars on the road, there's going to be horrible accidents.
You're crazy.
Everywhere. Horrible
You're
accidents.
crazy.
They're not fast enough. They're not fast enough.
I'm going with Dave. Yep, Dave on this one because.
Well, here's why.
Okay. What?
Because the humans will run into them.
Right. So I get your idea that the interaction between self-driving and the humans.
That moment in between where
and as a matter of fact, when you get a human out there that's is out of sync with the other drivers,
right?
That's a problem. That he's driving too slow.
Can't teach
in
him
the
to
wrong
run.
lane.
They can't teach him to run yellows.
Right.
They can't teach them to do it. They won't.
However,
they won't do it.
Right.
However, I'm thinking that the cars are being programmed to take this stuff into consideration.
They are.
I think it will be safer when there's 97%, self-driving cars on the road.
That's when it has to be.
Than 40%.
How about a special lane where there's a divider where human cars can go, and everything else is self-driving, like 4 or 5 lanes of self-driving.
That's the way it has to be. That is the way it
And
has
for people
to be.
that are
On the
nostalgic
freeway.
and just have to do it.
What
You
kind
can't
of
do that.
expenditure on infrastructure would you have to do to accomplish something like that?
Well, you can take that fast lane,
Yeah,
throw some of those.
nothing on the freeway. There would be no real infrastructure on the freeway. You just make a lane, and you just like that's a satellite lane.
It's enough with the
linked up.
cars.
I mean, we already got the diamond lane, so
Yeah.
Maybe we use that.
Right.
Have that be the human lane.
Yes, I know.
Cram as many humans as you want into a car.
Well, I think people
Jam them down the highway.
Yeah.
No problem.
People are
Well,
just gonna
you
pay for
probably
lanes
only
at
need
this
the
point.
one lane for
That's it.
the self-driving car. Because they're driving at a steady rate, and it's the humans that need all the lanes.
It's all those little pauses.
So work it until the numbers start to edge up to the self-driving. But
Well, here's the way I think about it. It's not going to be there'll be a self-driving lane, but there has to be lanes that people pay for to get in. Like there'll be lanes that are like membership lanes on
Absolutely.
the freeway. There has to be because the economy has to be fixed. You have to keep
had
the
me at
government up.
membership.
oh yeah,
Membership lanes
right
that are also
that'll appeal to the
Triple
elite.
diamond.
That'll
Right.
appeal to the elite. The elite.
you will not
the
have to
elite
be in
want
traffic.
special stuff.
You'll never have to be in traffic. You just pay for that lane and you get to think and do your thing.
And I'm sorry,
it's
what
like-
was the website where you signed up for this?
Yes.
Did you say?
And
I
there'll be
don't-
one less. There'll be one other lane that's like you pay a little less and you get in there, and they'll be like kind of trafficky. And then the other two lanes will be like garbage.
Yeah. And then there'll be a
That's
lane
right.
where they pay you to drive, and it's real dangerous, that one. I mean, crazy. We're talking about vehicles pulled over and all kinds of...
Well, that's the lift lane.
That's the lift lane.
All right, we're going to do this again, but when we come back, I would like to talk about your general fears for the future.
Oh, general fears. All right, good. I have plenty.
Do you?
Yes.
All right.
I'm afraid of
So
everything.
you're listening
Yeah.
you're listening to Mike Coppolino and Dave. Yep, Dave. And Cosmo Call chimes in every once in a while.
Even though I haven't said much.
You haven't said much. He's there, and he just said something just there. See? You're listening to SDS.
SDS.
Hi, this is Salvador Vasquez. I'm a student here at San Diego City College, and I'm part of SDS, KSDS HD2, San Diego, Student Delivered Sound.
SDS.
Okay, we are back, and
Talking about the future? Of what?
Fears of the future.
Fears of the future.
What are your fears of the future?
Oh. I don't know. Like,
well, that sounds
I don't know
very
what I'm- I
positive.
don't know
It
what I'm-
doesn't-
I totally agree.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
yeah.
don't know. My future is pretty short. I'm thinking like,
Be nice to us. Wow, it took you a long time to think of that.
Yeah.
So
I'm
sounds like
thinking-
you're doing pretty good at the end of the day.
I know.
Yeah?
I have been thinking about stuff. Cryptocurrency. How about that? That's just something I think about because I don't understand it.
I thought it was cryptic currency. For like
Cryptic
a
currency?
month. I'm a total idiot. Yeah, it was no wonder people were laughing.
We were looking to you to advise us on this cryptocurrency, and you come at us with cryptocurrency.
No, I'm just,
Cryptic
look,
currency.
Bitcoin, people are talking about Bitcoin now. That's the big thing.
Right.
Maybe this could be a replacement for the dollar.
Right.
Maybe we're jumping the gun a little on that. But it seems like one Bitcoin is worth $9,000 or something.
Right.
It looks like it's already replaced it.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
why is that? Why is the question?
Look, money is a problem. Okay, money it's tricky.
Right.
People steal it and they use it to do bad things. Okay, and no one knows where it came from. So it's got a lot of problems.
Okay.
Bitcoin is totally 100% traceable. Anytime a Bitcoin is used, it goes into the record of that Bitcoin like its DNA.
Okay.
And as it transfers hands throughout history, you can see the history of the movement. Something you could never do with a $100 bill.
It's like
There's a movie about that where it follows a $100 bill that changes hands, but none of them know where it's been before.
No,
right.
Yeah, it's an episodic movie.
It would destroy the economy completely.
What, Bitcoin?
Yeah, because it'd be no gray economy.
gonna
Everything
save
would be
the
traced.
economy.
Everything would be traced.
no more black market.
Everything traced. Everything taxed. Everything abused by power. That's it.
Full economic realization
Yeah.
with every dollar accounted for. It's the dream of the economy.
People would go into like
It
raising.
can work if none of the money goes missing.
It'd be like Greece after that. Everyone would be like trading goats and stuff and whatever, like
really
chicks and
Goats?
Goats.
Did I
and
hear
chicks
goats?
And
don't think goat trading is.
Amish.
I really don't think.
Amish things. They go back to Amish.
We don't want to
things.
give the
It would be
Amish.
like,
Well,
a
however,
strategic
small
advantage.
things of value will be around.
it would be like we would be bartering. It'd be barter town.
Aren't we bartering already?
We'd get no reward from it.
Aren't we bartering already?
We are bartering already. Well, with the
How much is a
Bitcoin,
gallon of milk? It depends where you go. There's no set price for a gallon of milk.
Well, I can't even get it. I don't have a cow.
I'm saying a gallon of produced milk in a plastic container. How much is it? You can't answer that question.
Oh, it's
I need to
$3.
be more specific.
$3.
It's different everywhere you go. There's
Yeah,
no set anything.
But if I go to the 99-cent store, it's $2.99 a gallon. They changed the 99-cent store to make it like $2.99.
I just side with consternation.
I just know it's always going to be $2.99 at the 99-cent store.
It's
Right?
not always $2.99. It's whatever the guy wants to charge
No.
you. It's $3.45 at 7-Eleven. It's
Not at the 99-cent store.
enough of the 99-cent store. They're not even a sponsor. Look,
No, if it went up, it would be like $3.99
okay,
instead of
James,
$2.99.
do you understand what I'm saying with
There's
this?
no
There's set price for anything.
That's correct.
It's whatever the guy wants.
Everything anything that traffic will allow.
Anything.
That's the price of everything.
Everything.
Anything that the traffic will allow. That's what I don't get about why people who go to baseball games and sports and they think the players get too much money. But wait a minute. That it's not going to lower the ticket price. The ticket price is all that the traffic will allow. If
true.
the baseball player gets less money, it will just go into the owner's pocket. Now, you didn't buy that ticket to go see the owner. You bought that ticket to go see whoever the
Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle.
Allegedly.
He should get the money.
If he's still playing, he should get
Right.
money, I think.
But is this even subsidized or something? Is baseball almost feels like it should be subsidized.
Baseball
because-
stadiums often are subsidized by taxpayers.
by the taxpayer.
Right.
Yes, even though the owner ends up with the profits. The
And
tax
the
money
Or
from,
sort of. I was living downtown when Petco Park was built, and construction stopped. It sat idle for 18 months, something like that, because the first investors lost their shirts, and then the new investors came in, bought it all for a song, and made a killing.
Probably because there's a bunch of chlorine in the land or something.
Ixnay on the Orine clay.
Well, I mean that's what happens. Is like all of a sudden there's like chlorine on this land.
We don't want to cause a panic with the
It's going to be a
chlorine.
huge
There's
hazard
no-
to get rid of this.
There's no evidence of any
Yeah.
chlorine. Let's just
Right.
get that out of the way.
We don't
Save the
know.
phone calls.
Yes. And then like
Put
somebody,
the phone down.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe somebody knows something.
Radon,
You know
though.
how to get rid of chlorine.
Can we, real quick though, can we just say, like, every time someone says the word conspiracy or conspiracy theorist,
Yeah, my name comes up.
well, besides that, I can see the look that people get in their eye. Conspiracy theory is now a synonym for what in the society? What else
Chlorine
does that
gas.
mean? Chlorine
Yeah, chlorine
gas,
gas.
chemtrails,
Doesn't
Radon.
exist.
idiot,
Yeah.
whatever you want. But my point is this, conspiracy, the idea
Yeah.
that a bunch of rich people wouldn't get together to plan something.
Right.
Come on, folks.
That's being naive.
This is the only way that things happen, is
Well-
people getting together and planning.
Right.
It's
They always
only
do.
conspiracies.
Yeah.
It's only conspiracies.
Yeah, that's how you know they're good.
That's how you don't.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
all right. So yeah, it just means breathe together, conspiracy, but it's got a bad connotation.
Most certainly.
And it should.
And it should.
Wait a minute. The planning committee, though.
Yeah. Because it's easy to do everything wrong in a conspiracy. It's too easy to do everything wrong.
As opposed to normal people who are just going around
Yeah,
just
you don't-
hitting home runs all
just-
the time
it
because
just-
there's only one of them.
Yeah, I mean,
Come on.
conspiracies should work.
They do work.
I don't know if they work.
Name one that didn't.
Well, eventually they all don't work because they ruin whatever was happening, pretty much.
What?
Unless they don't. I don't know.
I missed something.
Do they or do they not?
I'm saying
Are there conspiracies going on
He's
right
saying
now?
conspiracies are doomed to fail because there's too many moving parts. I'm saying name a single one that didn't work.
Well, I say I'm not saying that. I'm saying conspiracies fail because they're too controlled.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So we're talking about conspiracies like there was no plane that flew into the Pentagon.
Well, like OPEC.
That was a missile.
OPEC is a
So
conspiracy.
that's the conspiracy. It's not.
okay, well,
it's something that worked or didn't work. It's just.
I think what Mike
where's
is,
the airplane?
I think what Mike is trying to say here,
Okay.
is that he's addled, but what he's trying to say
Is there chlorine gas or isn't there?
No, don't bring up chlorine again. Once again, no chlorine gas was found anyway. Put the phone down.
There is no chlorine
I can
gas
hear
scare.
the clicking of email keys right now.
That's just what I think. Is like I think a lot of times like some.
You're
laws,
saying it's too big. Conspiracies are too big, but I say Manhattan Project.
I say laws are selectively enforced.
So that's not a conspiracy.
100,000 people knew about that. It was a secret project.
Right.
They built entire cities.
You could call that a conspiracy.
It absolutely was a conspiracy.
No, but all right. So
But
three
everyone
guys
knew
get
about it.
together and they decide, here's how we're going to sell 5 pounds of cocaine. That's a conspiracy.
That's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, yeah, but
Whether it works or not, it's still a conspiracy.
yes, that's a very organized.
But
Conspiracy.
only because it's a crime.
Right.
Right.
I think the idea with conspiracy is there's moving parts and it's secret from public knowledge. It's behind the scenes. I don't think it necessarily has to be something illegal.
It's something. It's something
That's
made up.
in that case. That's
You know.
and that's the usage of that term
I'm
in that
saying
case.
if the government was hiding evidence of UFOs, for example, I don't think that's
a conspiracy.
That's a conspiracy. I don't think that would be necessarily illegal that they're doing that. I don't think it's
Yeah.
in the interest of full disclosure, but I don't think it's.
There could be the same kind of panic that the chlorine gas would, which there
People
is
would
none.
be-
No chlorine gas whatsoever has been seen or
Smelled.
smelled anywhere. Anywhere. Right.
Yeah.
Certainly not within the city limits.
Right. I'm just saying that people could say what they want, and then if you have enough power, people will believe it, because
Yeah, that's why they get away with it.
they sell permits and whatever. It's like whatever, like all that stuff.
For Pete's sake.
You could just say a word and like have it not be enforced.
When I hear conspiracy, I don't think idiot
There's selective enforcement.
necessarily.
Yeah.
You don't think tinfoil hat?
I don't immediately
No.
think that.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I don't believe that. But
I do
believe,
try to avoid the word.
I believe in selective enforcement. I believe there's like a conspiracy to let people get by and a conspiracy to punish people.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's a conspiracy.
Now, if we all know about it, is it still a conspiracy?
It's a conspiracy.
Because, I mean, it's pretty brazen. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
It is very
And a lot-
They're
brazen.
not
well-
hiding it.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people know about chemtrails.
Right.
How
A
do
lot
we
of
feel
people-
about chemtrails?
I don't
Are we-
care. I have no.
I
no
kind of don't
caring.
care a
Well,
little bit.
they're not ill-defined. I mean, they are ill-defined. I mean, people see the plane trails up in the sky. That's just exhaust.
It wasn't always
or
like that.
vapor,
right?
and they go chemtrails.
Yeah.
Well,
I-
what do you mean chemtrail? I mean, yeah, all right, sort of. That's
If they were spraying stuff into the atmosphere, would you care? I mean, at the end of the day.
Is it going to activate all the cancer stuff that's already in my body? That's what I want to know.
Is
Is
it
that
making me
molecule is going
depressed,
to make
or is
me?
it something else that's doing
well,
that?
cancer rates are going up.
Well, I'm a plumber. I know I'm going to die of something. If I don't die of a heart attack, I'll die of whatever I've been
We're
dying.
all
Toxic.
dying of something.
Yes, but I'll be specifically dying of that,
I see.
of PVC or
Toxic crud.
inhaling some copper. I'll be dying of that. If I have
Copper,
that
yeah.
All that,
Well,
whatever's
here's
in there.
hoping you die some other way.
You're not working with lead.
Heroin.
A
Clearly.
fun way.
Clearly,
I hope
heroin.
you die the funnest way
Yeah.
possible.
Pretty much. That's the way I think about it. No,
That's
heart
pretty
attack
kind
is the
of you,
funnest.
Dave.
I would drowning in a big swimming pool filled with butterscotch pudding. I don't know. You know what I mean?
That's not a
Choking
good-
on the pudding.
It's not a good way to go. I don't want to be aware of it. I think explosion.
Who said I'm not afraid of death? I just hope I'm not there or
Vaporized?
something, or
Vaporized?
I hope
Who?
I'm not around for it or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
This is taking a turn from conspiracies to like threats.
We started talking about fears for the future.
Fears.
Is where we
Right.
started.
Well, clearly, it's that.
We're in there, yeah.
Yeah, we're there. We are there.
Premature death, robots, right? Robot death,
Self-driving
Yeah.
cars.
self-driving robot cars. What about robot vacuums? Are we cool on those, or
See,
is that still?
I think robots will be fun.
I think they're fun already.
Robot vacuums are fun to watch.
Yes.
I spend hours watching the
Right?
vacuum,
You know, that's
for sure.
Right?
And it sucks at the job. I mean, it's a vacuum. I understand, but I mean, it's
To be fair,
It's good enough for me.
A one of those Roombas.
Roombas.
One of those Roombas suck up a dog's pee pad
Wow.
and just brush it all over the house.
Wow.
Because it couldn't get it all the
was
way
just
in.
dragging the
It was just
urine all
dragging
over
this
the-
urine all
Nice.
over this wood floor, and I was like, I'm so amazed
It's a
by
great
it.
commercial.
I kind of love that. Yeah.
It's like the best thing I've ever seen. You know, it's like one of the best things I've ever seen. And it was like they were playing like Bob Seger on
And now, and now a word from our sponsor, Roomba. Oh, what are the odds?
Roombas are great. No, the country music. They were playing country music, and I just
I believe you.
And I was
I
like, going,
believe you.
yes, I love this. It was like old country music.
I got my Roomba from China. It's not a Roomba, it's some weird Chinese brand, and it has its own server.
Oh.
And it's
What?
a little weird, actually.
Oh.
yeah.
Chinese
And I swear to God,
Roomba knockoff.
it stopped in the middle of the room and spun around in a rotation 360 and was just snapping photographs of the room. You could see it blinking and doing
Yes.
that.
They all communicate with the headquarters. I don't
They're
know
all
how they
sending,
do that.
So the Chinese government is fully aware of the inside of my house at this point.
Absolutely.
Dirt levels, hair levels, what I have on the walls.
Yes, it's inhaled everything,
Chemical analysis of what it's sucking up?
and every television.
Which showed no traces of chlorine gas. I just
None.
wanna-
Yeah.
None
every
whatsoever.
television is always sending the stuff back. Every radio is sending the stuff back.
I don't
All
want the
that.
Chinese government knowing anything about my living room, to be
But
honest.
but who even looks at that?
I don't care.
The robots would have to. It has to be robots doing that.
You're saying
Robots-
robots checking the work of the other
Robots have
robots?
to be faster. To
I think if
select.
people were not worried about the future before they tuned in tonight, they might be now. We're going to do another little ID here. You are listening to SDS. You are listening to Fears for the Future.
Oh, yes, clearly.
Clearly.
SDS.
Fears, I
Hi,
don't know.
this is Thomas Wiseman. I'm a student here at San Diego City College, and I'm part of SDS, KSDS HD2, San Diego Student Delivered Sound.
SDS.
All right, we're back. These guys never left. I'm sure you can tell, but that's fine.
Good Lord.
The robots of the future. No, they have to watch. They have to check everything because no human is going to be able to have the attention span to check everything. It's a robot that's going to be doing that.
I'm afraid of robots.
Okay, robot cops.
Robot
Come
cops.
on,
RoboCop.
They're already there. They already blew up that guy. Like they sent the robot in to kill.
But there are some robots.
Oh, that's true.
But
Yeah.
I think you're talking about a situation where it's a robot, an autonomous robot cop, like a human.
Right.
But he's a robot going
Yeah.
around solving
Now,
crimes.
the upside is he's not enforcing his own prejudices.
He has no
It's
passion,
Well,
that's for sure.
Citizen, halt.
Here's the deal.
Citizen. I like that.
It's not.
I don't.
It's not going to look like a cop.
He'll look like a cop. 'Cause it'll be
no,
cop-ish.
It'll look like a drone.
You think it'll be more?
I'm
It'll
going
be a
with that.
drone
Look like a
right
drone.
there.
Doesn't
Not like a
even
person.
And
resonates
it'll be
not at
more than
all
one.
to a human cop.
Everywhere.
Halt, citizen.
No halting. No halting. I mean, they'll pretty much be terrorism guarding drones.
Stop or I'll shoot. I stopped. Stop or I'll shoot. I stopped. Counting down to shoot. I stopped.
Stop resisting.
No, I think the police will be totally disposable. They'll be drones, and they'll just
Drone
explode. They'll just come up to you and explode, and that'll be it. Like no
That's
enforcement.
the whole thing.
No enforcement
Right.
whatsoever.
They don't even
It's like,
arrest you.
that's
They
it.
just grab you and explode.
They don't even grab you. They just like sneak up on you like a bee.
So now you're talking about non-judiciary execution.
Well, you have to be doing something.
I mean,
wrong.
we don't want that
Yeah.
to happen, do we?
Yeah, because what would that be like?
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
Just
a cop,
kidding.
What do you think a robot
No
cop
chlorine
would be
gas.
like? What do you think a robot cop would be like? That's what I think a robot cop would be like.
I think I would like an emotionless cop, you know?
It's not even. Well, yes, everyone would. Well, as a full-size, life-size robot.
Yeah, I don't know. That halt citizen thing really got me going. I'm telling you what. Now I'm not afraid of the future anymore. I'm actually looking forward to it. You convinced me.
Well,
Right?
If
I-
they're
you know,
if they
I-
are robots, actually full-size robots, I mean, it's too complex to actually be a killing machine.
Not now, but later, I'm saying. There'll be no killing at all.
They don't seem to run very fast.
You can stab that thing. You can shoot it. All it does is grab you and drag you to jail. I mean, you could be hitting it with a bat.
Well, they have
even
those
care.
things on the battlefield right now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Those Jaguars or something.
When you get a point where you got robot soldiers up against other robot soldiers, like, have you reached some? I mean, will we just all
Why
put
would
down
we
our
do
swords
that?
at that point? I
Why
mean,
would we do that?
Why would you waste time having robots fight other robots?
You can't. Yeah, they have to invade. I mean, they have to be able to invade.
All right. Why? Okay.
population
Then again, why do we war?
The goal.
Because psychos are running the countries.
Right.
The goal is to get to populated areas. If you have robot.
I mean,
armies,
do you want to go to war?
I
Just thinking
Do I
about
want
it.
to go to war?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
afraid
I
no.
don't want to
No,
kill anybody. I don't want to be killed.
No.
Right,
no.
but we don't need robots doing that because
I
robots
don't even
will
like
bleed
TV
over.
shows about people killing each other.
Right? I'm not even
We're
right.
kind of not into that either.
Well, the goal of the robot is not to kill the robot. The goal of the robot is to kill the person. That's the goal. That's the goal. It is totally the goal.
Look, robot soldiers are
Robot terror.
single-minded.
Robot terror. That's what it is.
Robot terror. Right. I don't know.
I mean, that's what it would be. It would be programmed for that.
Geez, I got to say I'm hopeful now. I don't know. Right or no? Does anybody else feel this or no? I kind of feel.
I look forward to living in the sewers.
Oh, if there's just enough robots. If there's just enough robots, maybe everything will be okay.
Right? They can do the hard labor. We can all have more leisure time.
Yeah.
Universal
Finally.
basic income. You know,
Seriously, I'd be like in the sewers.
human
In the
police
sewers.
not enforcing their own prejudices.
Setting up barriers. Robot barriers.
I don't think you need to. I don't think robot police means you're going to need to live in the sewer. You know what
I
mean?
think you have
I
to
don't think
worry
that's a
about-
logical step from that.
You have to have a close space to swat them. You have to have a place to swat
No,
them.
you
If there's
definitely
too
need
much,
a backup plan.
Yeah, there's no room. You gotta condense the room, but it doesn't matter.
You know, in
anyways.
Vegas, there's a whole city underneath the town in
Yeah.
the sewers, like a whole,
Yeah.
like tons of people.
Well, the
Like they
thing
have
is,
like a city underneath there.
to be fair, I mean,
Where?
it's the sewer.
In Las Vegas, underneath the city, there's in the sewer things, and I guess they were going to do a subway at one time, and they didn't. There's
That's
all
New
these.
York.
No, in Las Vegas.
The homeless?
Yes, there's a whole community of thousands. I don't know how many people. A lot underneath the city.
I like that.
They've stolen electricity. They got that running down there. It's like a little community.
Full demolition man.
There's tunnels, huge tunnels in the granite in the Rocky Mountains.
Yes, I know
Mormons.
those. Mormons? I thought it was NORAD.
Mormons have food in there.
Really?
Yeah. They probably got robots. I don't know.
Well, in
I bet they
France,
do.
Mormon robots, huh?
in
Way to go.
France, they've got miles
go.
and miles and miles of catacombs that they haven't even mapped out yet, and people live down there.
That goes back hundreds of years.
People also get lost, and they're never heard from again. But
Mike, you may be onto something with this.
What?
The sewer idea.
I know the sewer idea. Well, I know how to strategize. I mean, if I'm going to have, but they're just going to gas the sewers if that happens.
What do they?
They don't
care?
need robots for
They don't.
that.
If
yeah,
we're down in the
just
sewers,
gas
they're not
us.
going to gas us.
It's like
they don't
it's
care.
like gas and
They're
rats.
not going to care if we're down there. I
Yeah,
bet.
no, they think we're rats. That'll be it.
We take a vote on that.
Well, are we going to?
How many people think the robots would gas us if we were living in the sewers?
I mean, there's going to be terrible. Like, there's going to be.
I'd
Terrible,
say no. I say they would let us stay down there and they
Well,
wouldn't care.
Well,
Also-
it would depend on the motivation of whoever's controlling the robots.
Right.
Because they would be directed to kill all humans on the surface of the planet.
Right.
The sewers are not the surface. It's underneath.
It's easy to get into there, though. It's easy to get in there.
Yeah, sure. It's easy to get in there. In fact, it might be easier to dispatch those in the sewers and
It's the trouble.
and
is-
underground.
Battle the robots down in the sewer. You want to come get us? Come down into
Yeah.
the garbage. Let's do this.
That's the way I
Right.
think about it.
I like that.
I'm up to 70% now. Hopefulness for the future. We went from 60 to 70 on that deal.
No,
The
but-
sewer war.
Yeah. I mean, no internet access. You're in the sewer.
You won't need
Yeah.
Facebook down there.
I mean,
know?
it's better than like lead lined. If you're in the sewer, all that earth. That's the way I think about it. But I still think you're going to get gassed
Well, we didn't get to everything.
or diseased.
We never got to pleasure robots. We never got into that. So
Oh.
we can save that for
Pleasure
another
robots.
time. But certainly that's something.
Well,
to be considered.
we're almost there.
we are there.
We're practically there, right?
Yeah.
We're building them here in San Marcos. San Marcos is San Marcos San
What's
Diego?
the new one? The Cardi B? Have you seen that one? Excellent.
The Cardi B?
No.
Is that the Japanese one?
I don't know where it's from.
It has, like,
Fantastic.
It has
Looking good,
facial
huh?
expressions.
Oof, my goodness.
Facial expressions. That's what we're going for.
I saw the interview with that one. It couldn't really talk. You know what I mean? It could talk, but
It
not
could.
really.
Yeah, the lip was a little hinged.
It was like Lenny from Mice of Men if it was a sex robot. kind of
Right.
thing.
So that's
But
what
it
I'm
wasn't
saying.
even-
I
it
mean,
wasn't
how
even a sex robot.
how
It
are
was
you
just
going to
a
have angry sex with
you really can't because
Not
it
yet.
would be almost like being with some kind of special needs person and taking advantage of them in some sense. I mean, I'm saying.
Oh well,
I
that's
think it would definitely.
that's an aspect I hadn't thought about.
Well,
either.
if you think about the IQ of these robots is going to be mid-60s. I mean, they're going to be real limited. They don't want them thinking outside the box because then they're going to end up cooking you. So they, you know what I mean?
Right. I understand.
Well, wait a minute.
you're gonna have a relationship?
Big Blue beat Kasparov, right?
That's true.
So
Well, the main problem I see with being angry.
I'm going with
doesn't
Kasparov.
ride out well.
Angry sex with a sex robot. The problem is you would void the warranty.
I see.
The warranty. Like you wouldn't have any more warranty.
Is
on
it
that. That would
possible
be
to
it.
void the warranty on a sex robot by having sex with it? I don't think so.
Angry
think
sex?
that's-
Angry. Is there any other sex?
Right.
Is what you're saying?
I didn't say that, but I do think that. And then I guess I did say
Okay.
No,
future,
but
to the future.
I just think it would void the warranty or make it limited because people would be watching also.
And when will we move past warranties
I mean,
in general?
do you think people are going to be watching through the robot's eyes?
Oh, that is kinky. I never even thought of that.
I mean, because the Roomba does it.
Right.
The Roomba does it. All these other things do it. I mean, there's going to be like maintenance going on. All that's going to be hooked up.
I don't
mean,
think I
that's
want
a-
somebody touching my robot. You know what I mean?
Well, nobody touches your robot. It all gets done remotely, like with the software.
Yeah, I don't like them fiddling
Would it
with
be
her.
jealousy?
It's my robot. You know what I mean? I just think I don't.
Is it an ownership thing or is it jealousy?
You know, I don't want to talk about my robot anymore, you guys. Okay, let's just enough of that.
There has
okay?
to be necessary. There's necessary security updates. Clearly, there has to be
Well, the Android robots aren't going to work very well.
Because-
They're constantly
Not
having
at first.
because they're going to be programmed to kill. Like people will be able to assassinate people with sex robots
I really don't think that's going to happen initially.
initially.
I think it'll be years before that's a problem.
There'll be plenty of accidents.
I don't like the idea of people trading robots either. You know what I mean? That's getting into a whole
Robot,
weird.
sex robot swapping.
Robots, swingers. I'm not into it. You know what I mean? Let's keep it more traditional with our robots.
swingers. I
You
mean,
know
that
what
could
I
be
mean?
like an industrial application.
I am in favor of the monogamous robotic relationship. Okay, I don't want. You know what I mean? Let's-
I want
don't know.
a sex
Think
robot.
about
that-
the society.
Yeah. It could also make tools.
But what if you can
things like
afford
that.
15 robots?
Many would be programmed
Halt,
to kill.
citizen.
Halt, citizen.
Many would be programmed to kill. Yes.
Good lord.
Oh, really? But 15 of them as an entourage.
I might have got to 80%.
A robot-
Just now. I don't know.
A robot entourage.
A
I mean,
robot
the first guy that
entourage.
has it, that's the guy.
That's the guy.
That is the guy.
That's the guy.
That's Bruce
All
Wayne.
right, that's the guy.
That's the guy.
Bruce Wayne, right out there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We've got 2.5 minutes left. Is there
Oh, yeah, we got things.
anything that anybody would like to say in conclusion here tonight? I'm not sure that we could put a cap on where we've just gone, but
Well, I hope it was all audible. I mean, did we talk over ourselves or
A
anything?
little
We
bit.
were-
Why don't you want to plug your show?
Oh, yeah. I
a
got
plug?
I do a comedy show at Cricket's Pub every 2 Wednesdays a month, second and fourth Wednesdays. And then Saturday show, last Saturday every month, I have a show where I bring in really good comics from LA and wherever. You know, they call me or whatever, and I embarrass myself to get
folks,
them.
I was at the last one, and what he's saying is absolutely true, and it was hilarious.
Yes.
What's the address?
The address is 3339 El Cajon Boulevard.
Just past 33rd on El Cajon.
Yeah, on the wrong side of the 805.
Right on the wrong side of the 805. All right, I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. It's been, I'm not going to say it's been real. I won't say that.
Well, it hasn't.
I don't think
It hasn't.
No.
No, it hasn't.
It's been.
Yes. It was all right. I think it was all right.
All right.
And many thanks to all the many listener out there.
I know. You just never know.
All 6.
You never know.
There has to be 6. That's consistent.
I just want to say to all the throngs and throngs of listener out there, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having us. This has been great. Cosmo, anything? Sign off?
Have a good night, guys.
All right. That'll do it.
SDS.
Hello, this is James Call. I'm a student here at San Diego City College, and I'm part of SDS. That's KSDS HD2 San Diego, Student Delivered Sound.
SDS.